I'm tired of defending myself. But here I am once again defending myself. I got married in 2004. In 2006, we separated because they beat the shit out of me and the neighbors drove them off. Also in 2006, my father committed suicide and I was having trouble being alone. So I took back my spouse, who the neighbors had driven away from me to keep me from being killed by him. I don't know why they put in the paperwork that we separated in 2006, because we separated in 2008. In 2006 was when my father killed himself. So if he's telling you that he left and stayed gone before my father killed himself, he is lying. They are lying. I'm trying to use the right pronoun. I married a man. I never expected it to be I'm married to a woman. I never expected it. It's hard for me to get the pronoun right. Especially when they're doing wrong to me by lying about the years we were together so that my family has further evidence to abuse me and call me a liar. I got married in 2004. He beat the shit out of me. We separated in 2006, and then when my father blew his own head off, we got back together. I was working at that time. We had an apartment together. We lived together. Me, them, and their new girlfriend lived together. When I left him in 2008, I quit my job to do so. I literally quit my job, left him, left everything I owned, and moved in with my grandmother. And then also in 2008, I tried to find somebody else. And I met a man online who lied to me about everything and then went on to murder somebody. 2004 to 2008 were the years that me and my ex-spouse were actively together. But it doesn't really matter because legally we were together until 2013. And the reason that we stayed married was because he told me that they didn't want to get divorced so that they wouldn't feel pressured to ever marry anybody else. He told me that the reason he beat me was because I allowed him to. By marrying him, I gave him permission to do whatever he wanted to me. He believed that since he was married to me, I could never leave. He could do whatever he wanted because I belonged to him as his wife. And he didn't ever want to feel that much power over another person again. So he said, unless I wanted to get married again, just not to worry about getting divorced. That way he would have a go-to excuse. If he ever met anybody else that wanted to marry him, he could say, well, yeah, but I'm already married and my ex, she's such a bitch, you know. And that excuse worked for a while until the girl he was with decided she didn't want an excuse anymore. And she filed the paperwork herself and got the divorce herself. But she told him that if we had been married for 10 years, I could legally force him to pay alimony, which I never would have done. But that was her excuse to force him to do something he didn't want to do, because she wanted to get married to him. And then they got married, and within 6 months were separated. Because the same thing happened that happened with me. It's a very complicated situation that my aunt has no idea what's going on with, because she didn't know my ex. She was not a part of my life.